as you saw, he took it pretty early, disguises it well, and he has added a little extra punch to that forehand wing, and that's what he's going to have to contend with against Diallo. Can he make enough returns? As you said, was it round of 16? Was that his round here?
Third round.
Yeah.
Diallo made it to the third round in 1988.
First game.
From Diallo to me, because look at how quickly he moved. He's 6'8". Good get here. Anticipated beautifully. You think of players that are 6'8", you know that Tommy can move. Every inch above 6'6", it seems to be difficult for tennis movement.
Got some serious tape, hasn't he, on that left knee of his?
Position here.
He did close in, didn't he? Still couldn't get a racket on it. Well, that is a sensational backhand up the line, and from 1540 breakpoint down.
Even the speed of Paul.
Sensational. Something he's really worked on, isn't it, under Coach Brad Stein, coming forward, finishing points at the net.
He's so quick that he can do this. This is a sneak, and he hit a regulation ground stroke from behind the baseline, but recognized his opponent was going to be stretched, so he just sprinted in, and he got that volley right on top of the net. Covered that ground so quickly.
Didn't seem like the right shot, but somehow Diallo gets away with it.
It's not the right shot. And it wasn't diplomatic. And it was not well executed either. And it even looked as though he left. Oh, he gave a little fake step to cover the line. So now I get second game in a row from double break point back to deuce.
You just wonder how long Gabriel Diallo can sustain that kind of movement, that kind of pressure. Good directional serving, 126 miles an hour, that one.
The one point he had a chance, he stayed back. I don't think I like.
Return must have clipped the back of the line.
You know that a player's hitting the ball pretty big because these players hit the ball so hard to begin with when the crowd reacts a bit. And that forehand, you heard a, ooh. Paul's not breaking serve here. He's making the big fella work for every game.
Changes things up, the little serve and volley.
Yes.
Our opponent's weakness.
Yeah.
There's the serve to the forehand. Nice deep shot after that. First serve percentage so far for Tommy Paul, right at 64. He's pulled it wide. There's a second serve, doesn't make Tommy Paul play.
Saving all those 5 break points.
Beautifully done. Serve and volley. Finishes the second volley off.
I was expecting quick games in this match. Both players would have a decided edge on serve. But through 6 games, it's taken 30 minutes. The games have been...
You know, sometimes you get players who come through qualifying and they do look a little bit fatigued.
He's taking it early.
This is just wide. I'm surprised he missed that. Just to see the tendencies. Oh. It was a long way down, wasn't it, for Diallo? Paul managed to get enough spin. This time, Tommy Paul makes the pass and gets the break. A big roar goes up.
It wasn't as shocking as you would think. A little bit of a tight backhand from Paul. It wasn't as shocking as you think because he'd served so badly to be in this position.
That was his second break point of the match. Did have one. Break point number 2 in the game, number 3 for the encounter. On his racket.
Spin and pace that it needs.
So more breakpoint chances here for Tommy Paul. A tough low angle for us to see exactly what happened there. Tommy Paul breaks for the second time, and so he'll be on high alert here. He did with Taylor Fritz.
Yeah, at the Olympics. So he was there right to the end. Tried to play Montreal and Cincinnati, didn't play well.
I think we're seeing a bit of a hangover with Alcaraz and Novak. Oh, yes.
as it is, shockingly again, Diallo has a break chance.
But he went big on the backhand cross court, this time just a little wide. Relief for Tommy Paul. Oh dear. He's just not had a good time in that kind of shot today. Just to make sure of it. And a miss hit off the forehand side, and would you believe it, but Gabriel Diallo, the Canadian qualifier. That is some lob.
Maybe Tommy Paul's listening to you, because he just dumped that first pass and then came up with a beautiful lob.
Just winning around 30% of second serve points so far in the match. And that's very well done from Diallo, isn't it? He went to the forehand of Paul on the second serve.
Fine.
Instead, it's a fantastic return. And Tommy Paul breaks for the third time in. Under half behind his second serve, though.
But if you...
Oh, dear. This comes under the volley far too much, and it is a break.
One, 0.
7-5 or 5-7. It's Diallo who strikes first. A couple of tiebreaker sets against Artifice. One Diallo won, one he lost.
Diallo.
That one's not coming back.
But I know it's not easy.
It was easier when they were playing. That's a wild forehand. Backhand return of Tommy Paul's comes up trumps once more. 6-5, could not get it done. nicely done. Not an easy overhead.
In this entire point, he was overspinning it. And the one thing you don't want to give Diallo is waste for serve here.
Gets it, but that is a big miss on the forehand side. That wing is... It goes big. And the man from Canada, who has just been astonishing the tennis world.
If I knew the answer to that, we'd all be, because that is. I mean, generally was to get in long rallies. So I wouldn't try to hit a winner. I would try to play spinny, high, heavy. Let me get my racket.
That's nicely done from Tommy Paul, because in the first set he was trying to take that ball cross court.
A little tougher than any of the drop shots that he had to deal with. This one was a little bit lower than the net. Finally controlled.
Ace number 6 for Diallo. Hit 5 in the first set.
And in this set, he's come out and played far more aggressively already. And if I'm Diallo now, I think I'd go to the forehand with this second serve if I had a choice.
He goes body and gets beaten. Tommy Paul breaks for the 4th time today.
Shouldn't that relax you? If you're playing a big server who's 6'8" and you're breaking him more than he's holding, there's got to be a point in time when you think, okay, there's no way I'm losing this match. Relax, let your game flow, and start holding serve. Tommy's only... And will Tommy Paul finally consolidate a break serve?
He can, and he does. So the smile.
And where it is now, it looks to be in pretty good hands with some young, nice mix of young players. And you had that one class that really got it all started, which was the Tiafo, Taylor Fritz. In Australia, were the two countries that produced tennis players.
Oh, he's made it. So maybe this man is the one to take Canadian tennis forward. Looking for his 4th love hold of the day. And he gets it. Played 6 matches there. This is his 6th match of the US Open campaign. So quick around the net, isn't he? So explosive. Big on the second serve, and it pays off. That's a nice response. for the first time today, Tommy Paul does back up the break. And so Tommy Paul makes a big move here in the third set, first game.
Thank you.
Oh, superb double down the line, followed by the drop shot.
And hopefully for the rest of the match, Tommy Paul's relaxed now. And you can see that also with just touch and feel. That was beautifully done. Early in the match, he didn't have the same touch. There were a couple of forehands that he
already had 4 love service holds today. Oh, well, it was the right thing to do, just not quite the execution.
A better volley this time from Diallo. He hit a couple of shots he has struggled with. First, the approach he kept in play.
Tommy Paul making sure of the volley.
He's gone into this back, and you can see he was taking a step in and said, nope, I'm going to get back. It might have helped him get that short forehand, because when you see someone or think someone's coming in, you're
a lot of squeaky shoe noises there from Tommy Paul. That's a nice serve, handcuffed Diallo. Oh, it's fast footwork from the 6'8" Canadian.
Yes.
Yeah, got to all of those shots comfortably.
After a difficult game in which he started 40-15 up, faced the break point, he does come through it.
Yeah, that's about when you should be done thinking technique, hopefully.
Well, that is a big blow for the...
Squandered it. Almost impossible, that set, to finish the way that it did. And if Diallo could have got a quick break and has never looked back.
Admirable mindset for Tommy Paul, because
he's not going to win this set. So if that's how I would be thinking if I was him,
yeah.
Unless physically he just feels as strong as could be, but it's hard to believe 6'8".
So Diallo, Tommy Paul serving at 4-1 in the third set. And the service game is getting stronger and stronger.
Tommy Paul, a lot of players, when you think about hitting it hard and you tense up, things get actually slower.
Oh my. You would have been pleased to hit that in your day, wouldn't you?
Great wide serve. I was about to say, look at that great wide serve. He thought he'd get a floater. He didn't, but he stuck his racket out and found a beauty.
But it is another service game ticked off. There's only one. Only won 4 points behind his first serve. A little lucky from Tommy Paul. And he takes it on the first of them. Tommy Paul now very much in control of this match. He's playing. What do you think has changed? Well, this hasn't happened in quite some time. Well, that is a big move from the Canadian. Again, control. He's been broken. And now Gabriel Diallo has a pep to his step.
And there's other things to consider.
Well, that is very impressive. It's a little bit of a lesson for
I'm still in there with a chance in set 4.
And forehand goes wide. The previous one before that just about made it over. But it is a double break for Gabriel Diallo.
But today he's looked antsy at times.
Oh, that had to be good, and it was.
It was a great serve. He went behind him. Paul had to slam on the brakes, but he chipped that forehand beautifully. Now there's almost no room to get it over Diallo's racket and in. Room to get it over Diallo's racket and in.
Tommy Paul breaks back.
Right around top 100 player.
What role does Hugo serve? Easy hole for Tommy Paul. He's got a little bit of momentum now from a 3-love start. Tommy Paul has a little momentum now. 19 breaks of serve for the Americans so far in this US Open.
13-14.
For once, he doesn't quite get his feet up to the ball. Well, that's a surprising point for Tommy Paul to lose. It looks so good after the return of serve. And that ball had a lot of kick on it, Diallo. And Tommy Paul does break. A break to love, no less. And that is quite a statement. Another hole to love for Tommy Paul.
Get down a little bit on himself, and he hasn't. His backhand pass cross court is also pretty good. We've seen a number of those. This was Tommy Paul back at you. That's what Paul has done a couple of times to Diallo with the chip forehand return.
Well, that is world-class tennis.
That was awesome. And then Paul served up the one shot that Diallo's the most 30. Paul either holds serve at love or seems to get broken. So
oh, this time no cross-court pass from Diallo.
Still pretty good pass. About as good as you can hope for from there. He guessed right, got the ball down low with pace. Will Paul go to the forehand again? That's what he served.
Nicely done.
And he does have a very nice kick, as you can see how far out he pulled his opponent, and that's where Diallo's not as supple as some people. That approach really wasn't good enough to get the volley that.
A little injection of pace. Paul is down.
Diallo's so dangerous. He can miss shots, but it seems as though when he gets his teeth into a point or two and he suddenly gets, there's not many people that can hit the ball from behind the baseline past Tommy Paul.
It's a nice comparison. Oh, well, I wonder if he should have gone cross-court again.
Feels like the outcome of this match might hinge on this game in some ways, at least for Diallo.
It's long, and we'll go back to juice. Tension is palpable. He went big and he missed. And that is quite a hold for Tommy Paul from love 30. He holds off.
Managed to pull off. Diallo could get a little bit more because he gets so many blocked returns court. And Paul's quick enough that he's going to run those down. If he can get a few more like that, opening the court, creating a little bit more space, that might be the next phase of the game for him.
Ball goes for break on the forehand return, a big miss, so we are going for another tiebreaker.
Serving at 5-4 in that tiebreak, lost both of those.
A very good level.
And I do enjoy that angle, camera. Diallo's forehand has a lot of pace. Paul did all he could to at least force one extra shot out of Diallo, but he handled it beautifully.
First minute break goes to Tommy Paul. Said to himself, everything from now on is a bonus. And Tommy Paul back on the front foot. A little kamikaze run to the net. Tommy Paul apologises. A couple of net courts in that rally.
And this was shaping up to be the type of point that Diallo has been finding ways to win, but just last second flick of the wrist from Paul, and another just grazing the top of the tape made that volley impossible.
Oof. And it has not been a good fourth set tiebreaker for the man who won the first. Three match points remain. Two of them will be on the Diallo serve. Tommy Paul is moving on to the fourth round for the second straight year. Gets the better of Gabriel Diallo in their first ever meeting. And it was a terrific meeting here on Louis Armstrong. It looked like we'd be going certainly to the fifth set after a double break lead for Diallo in the fourth, but it was not.